Hello, welcome to the Hard Reset. What just happened?
Oh my, can you say wag the dog? Oh man, I hate to sound like a complete lunatic, but this is really starting to remind me of wag the dog. You've got US administration, and then you've got some other countries, Boris Johnson, Bueller. Over in UK, just kind of there's some issues going on with both of these guys, and all of a sudden those issues they're slowly disappearing. We've sent as Biden likes to say, President Harris over to Europe to try to broker a deal and tell other countries how to fix their borders. And for whatever reason, we can't fix our own border. She's supposed to fix our border. And so all that's being ignored. And some of the other issues, major issues here in the US. And now we're worried about Ukraine. So what about Ukraine? This is kind of interesting because there's so many mainstream media outlets just totally ignoring this fact. And this is a fact. This isn't made up. It's called the Minsk Agreement, which I'm not sure how many of you have heard any mainstream media outlets bring up Minsk Agreement. This is back in 2014. So what's going on in Ukraine right now? This is nothing new. The stuff they've been trying to pump and push, and of course, every day it gets really old. Every 2 or 3 hours, every 6 hours, every day is just nonstop. Biden and his intelligence group, they did a great job with Afghanistan, by the way. Warning, there's this imminent threat. So here's what's going to happen. And this is why I'm calling it Wag the Dog. So we've got elections coming up. We obviously have some major issues here in the US that's not being addressed and being ignored. And likewise, Boris Johnson, he's got some major issues on his own. The royal family, they have got some major issues. So all this stuff is kind of getting glazed over and pushed to the wayside. Everybody's just going to forget about it because we've got this huge crisis going on in Ukraine. I'm not saying, I feel really bad for the people that are in Ukraine right now, especially when you have the president of Ukraine asking the whole world to quit pushing this narrative and scaring everybody. So far, the only thing we've really managed to do is, well, we've told Russia, or we've told Putin what we plan on doing if he makes any aggressive moves. We've also devalued the currency of the Ukraine because now we just scared everybody and people are just pulling their money out of there. So none of this is helping them. And he's even asked on several occasions, like, hey, guys, chill out. Stop every 5 minutes sending out this doom and gloom message and scaring everybody. But, man, yeah, that really bad situation there. So what's going on there is there was a Minsk Agreement, and this is brokered back in 2014. This was between France, Germany, Russia, and the Ukraine. They all gathered in Minsk, and they came up with this agreement. And this is what brought this on. So when Russia annexed Crimea, and at that same time, you had, let me bring a map so you guys can see where the Basque region, or the Donbass region is, there we go. It's right in here. So there is Donetsk and there is Luhansk. And so this is the region in question. And here's Kiev clear over here, by the way. And we do have Russia does have troops in this area. And this morning, from what I understand, they did send troops into both of these areas here and here. Okay, so that just gives you a little kind of an idea of where this is at or what's going on. And right here, this is the border with Russia. So, obviously Russia, they want their territories back. I fully get that. But let's get back to the Minsk Agreement. There's actually a couple of them. First one just totally fell through, and they came back and they came up with another one. And is hopeful that that one would fly. Well, unfortunately, neither side would honor it, or, well, they didn't fully honor it. I mean, they tried, they did many things that kind of just went along with it. So anyway, so here's what was supposed to happen. There's supposed to be a ceasefire by both sides, immediate. There was also supposed to be a withdrawal of heavy weapons by both sides. And there was also supposed to be monitoring of the situation from the Donbass region and Ukraine by the ASCE. Look those guys up. When I was trying to find information on the, I think it was a kindergarten that got hit by, originally I was told mortar fire. And by looking at the playground, yes, there was a mortar that hit the playground. And then you look at the school itself, which was actually hit by an artillery shell, which original, what even got me down this rabbit hole was the fact that originally it was reported it was mortar fire that hit the building, which did not match up with mortar fire. It definitely looked like artillery. So it was definitely a tank or some sort of a cannon that had shot the school. What the news also left out on that story, which they did not show you, is, of course, they did show you the building. What they didn't show you was about 30 feet radius around that building, where it is right on the border of a war zone. Even the walls, like there's block walls or some steel doors and some outbuildings close to that school, they are riddled with bullet holes. So it's not nothing new. It's not like this all of a sudden just happened. This has been going on for many years. 2014, even probably before that. But they just made it sound like, oh, Russia, they've just invaded. So that's not what happened there either. So again, kind of hard to see. But what I did find was the ASCE had put out some footage showing them going in and doing an inspection of the kindergarten. So, all right. So the OSCE is supposed to be doing a monitor of this Minsk agreement. There's supposed to be a dialogue of interim self-government for Donetsk and Luhansk in accordance with Ukraine law and acknowledgement of special status by parliament. There's supposed to be a pardon, amnesty for fighters. There was also supposed to be exchange of hostages and prisoners. There's supposed to be humanitarian assistance, resumption of socioeconomic ties, including pensions. So, yeah, that would be really awesome for the people there that want their pensions. Ukraine to restore control of the state border. Withdrawal of, and this is a big one here, there's supposed to be a withdrawal of foreign armed formations, military equipment, mercenaries. Constitutional reform in Ukraine, including decentralization with specific mention of, again, the Donbass region, Donetsk and Luhansk. There's also supposed to be elections in Donetsk and Luhansk. What else do we have? Yeah, so that was really about it. That was what was in the agreement there, which nobody's talking about. They're all just acting like Russia is just trying to invade a country. No, what's happened is neither side has honored this, and Russia is going in and protecting the Donbass region. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just simply saying by this agreement and nobody following this agreement, Russia actually has rights to go in and protect this region, which it's kind of like the U.S. We've promised we're going to protect Taiwan from China. So if China tries to invade or they're showing aggression towards Taiwan, then by our agreement, we're going to send equipment and troops to Taiwan to help protect them. Likewise, Russia made an agreement to the Donbass region that if there was aggression by Ukraine, Kiev, then they would send in equipment and troops to help protect them. So I don't know how you're going to fault one country while you're doing the same thing. Again, it really looks like a big, giant wag the dog of many countries. There's so many countries right now that has done many things wrong to their people, especially with this plague thing that's going on, that I think we're trying to pull a lot of attention away from a lot of humanitarian rights and stuff that's been violated, and kind of just shift focus. I know, especially here in the U.S., we're definitely shifting focus from a lot of major issues that are being ignored. And we are like, oh, look, this is the new thing. And I don't know what is wrong with mainstream media. You guys have more researchers than I do. You have more information than I do. And there are so many things that you guys get wrong or just leave out. It's ridiculous. And unfortunately, what happens, there's a lot of people that, I mean, I got a lot of time on my hands. There's so many people they don't. So when you just say, oh, yeah, Russians invaded the Ukraine, or they're getting ready to, and nobody looks into it, why is nobody talking about the Minsk agreement? Because that's what's going on. This is nothing new. It's nothing. I mean, I hate to really downplay any war or any sort of confrontation, but man, these people, they've been shooting and killing each other for so long now. It's not even funny. 2014, guys. And there's been violations of the Minsk agreement by both sides. So you have one country honoring what they said they would do. Again, I'm not saying I am pro-Russia or anything like that. I'm just simply stating the facts. I don't understand why nobody else wants to state the facts unless they're afraid they're going to be called pro-Russia, which, like I said, I'm not pro-Russia. I'm not pro anything. I am pro-facts. So, I don't know, maybe hopefully the mainstream media, they'll group their poop and start reporting the news and just quit lying about stuff or pandering. That's just all right. So that's enough of my little rant right now. Yeah, I mean, I really hope everything goes well for the Ukraine, but at the same time, if you've got two sides of the party that didn't honor an agreement, and that was everything too, and that's what kind of made the whole entire first. There's actually two Minsk agreements. Again, neither one's being picked up or talked about, which they should be. That should be part of the conversation or part of the story when you're trying to tell a story of what's going on or paint the picture. So the first Minsk agreement, aggression by Kiev, is kind of what made that thing fall apart. And then, of course, both sides, it only takes one person to make that first shot. Once that happens, then it's kind of game on, right? So, all right. It's going to keep this one short and simple. That's all I got for right now. Yeah, look into this a little bit further if you guys would.